Well, hello there, and welcome back to Freeform Disney. Hey, it's another Bad Batch episode. As always, Jeremy, and I'm here with you. And we've got a bit of talking going on in the chat already, it looks like. Let us see. Hello there to Tom Redhart. Hello there to Kevin Robert. Hello there to Mickey MC. Hello there to Evie. Hello there, Matthew Finn. And hello there to Geek Girl. So definitely a good few of you in there already. Hey, we're up to the 10th episode already. Wow. I mean, just last episode was the over the halfway mark, and onward we go. I admit, I'm still surprised that the Omega piece being captured ended as quick as it did. I really did think that was going to go for a few episodes. I was wrong on that. Oh, hey. Since I changed green screen and lighting, this shirt was actually causing some problems somehow with my previous lighting and the green screen, but it works on this one, so now I can actually wear this shirt. Actually, a blue shirt. What a concept. Blue shirt should work against a green screen, but sometimes. So, cool R2 shirt. Disney Parks R2 shirt. Anywho. Let's see. Again, I know not everyone else agrees with me on this, but my expectation is this will be a much more fillery episode than usual. So that's where I think. We've had some big, heavy arc stuff lately, and I think this is kind of going to be our break episode. I'd prefer it's more like a day in the lives kind of thing than truly a filler, but we'll see what we see. You've got an R2 shirt. Nice. Good. Yeah, no, it's been one of the weird things. Certain things that I don't think should go ahead and cause problems against the green screen do. And then other ones, don't. So that's why you see red so much. Because red tends never to have a problem with it. Let's see. Okay, I guess Evie's there with me on the filler theory / guess. Whatever that we want to call it, I suppose. Hello there to Sailor X. So yeah, all kinds of stuff. I think we might see Sid, though, today. Even though more fillery, one of the ways we could go about it is some mercenary mission they have to do. In which case, Sid definitely could come in at the beginning of the episode. We could see that a bit. Hand them off some new mission. I could see that. Hey, hello there to Andrew Russell. It's been a little while since I think I've seen your name pop up in the chat right there. Yep. Yeah, I guess we did see Sid a couple episodes ago. Right as they were heading on out to start our latest arc right there. But yeah. Sid's popping up this time. I'm going to say Sid popping up, mercenary mission, kind of filler type stuff, so it's not going to have a huge amount of significance, but there will be something neat, and we'll head off to some planet we haven't seen before. Yeah. That's my bet. We still haven't actually seen everything from the trailer at this point. I figured we would have by the halfway point in the show, but that certainly has not actually happened. There's still like one big piece still waiting to see within the actual season so far from the trailer. Andrew Russell, you say any final predictions for the season? Still get a little while to wait on that one for final predictions, right? Well, I mean, we got 5 weeks. But let's see. My predictions for season end still come down to that I think the finale will really be about rescuing Crosshair. Now, that said, I really like the idea that having been exposed to the engine back in the other episode, back in episode 8, went ahead and fused it in a way that we can't save him anymore. And that would make for such a dark ending to the season, because that'll probably lead to the death of Crosshair there. But, oof. Yeah, my prediction is that is what the big finale will be about. And it very well might bring in some of our proto-rebellion in there as well. Maybe Saw Gerrera will pop back up. We could definitely have a few people there so as to give us an even more reason for a clash. So that's where I think we'll go to for the season finale. We'll see, though. I know there's a lot of talk about the rebellion over on Camino and when that will come. I don't feel that's season 1 finale, though. I feel that's season 2. I feel it's a big piece there that will build more toward it. But that's what I think. Could be wrong, though. Who knows? Let's see. Evie says, wish could have been there live for Loki earlier this week because that episode. Oh, well, I'm not going to spoil in case anybody here hasn't seen it, but oh, that was wow. That was an episode right there for you. Did not see that coming in the way that it went at all. In a few different ways. Wow. And hey, if you do watch it, there's a post-credit scene, and you definitely should go watch the post-credit scene as well. So just in case you're watching Loki. Let's see. After last week's episode, 1,000 showers will never make Fennec feel clean. What, just from that Kaminoan falling down on top of her out of the vat? That part right there? It's like, fun stuff. Let's see. Not convinced he'll be turned back. Yeah, talking about Crosshair there, and a good bet that he'll die too. Yeah. I really thought earlier on, that would be the cases that would save Crosshair. But as it's gone on, the show has shown that it's willing to be dark. And especially with that engine, and we made a big point of it. I really think we're going that way, and we're going to go dark like that. And oof, we'll be impressed. It'll be a nice touch to do it. Maybe we could see a younger Cal. And the younger Cad, probably? I'm guessing that's Cad. That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Andrew Russell, do I think there's going to be a second season? Yes, definitely. I'm going to be really surprised if there's no season 2. The show does not feel like it's coming to a wrap at the end of the season. It feels like there's a lot more still to tell. I think I think we'll finish the Crosshair piece of it, but that's only one piece of their story, one arc within it. So no, I definitely think there's going to be a season 2. I think there's definitely things to explore, like Omega meeting Boba Fett, for instance. I think that's going to be amongst season 2. Heck, their whole conflict between whether they want to be mercenaries or work with the Proto-Rebellion or what they want to do. We're not there yet. They're still just figuring this out. And heck, we're over halfway through the season. So we're not even into them really touching on the rebellion, and if they might go that way. And if they might go to what I'd love for an ending of it, which, as I've mentioned before, is kind of like an Operation Valkyrie thing. They go to try to kill the Emperor. But to do that, we've got to get them into the rebellion and really go that direction. And if we're going to see a Camino rebellion right there, clone rebellion on Camino, that, I think, deserves more time and more build-up, and I think it shouldn't be in this season. Because then we can really put the effort into it. So yeah, no, I definitely am looking at season 2 plus. Could be more than that, to be sure. Oh, Evie, Cal Kestis. I could definitely see that happen. Probably just as like a episode here or there. Just one episode, toss Cal Kestis in there, a younger form of him. Yeah, sure. That feels very much like a Dave Filoni kind of thing to do. Definitely does. Let's see. What else do we got in there? Maybe Crosshair becomes the first Death Trooper? Interesting. Again, not the direction I'm leading, but yeah, certainly possible. Who knows? Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah. We're getting there. They tend to come out at midnight, so I'm not expecting this one to drop earlier than that. But you never know. It might. Cal ended up on Baraka in the Scrapper Guild eventually, so people think we might see Cal at some point. Yeah, again, certainly could. And as I said, Dave Filoni likes tossing little Easter eggs like that in there and having characters appear. So I would be hardly surprised by that. Hardly surprised. On other things for this season, I think the Martez sisters will definitely pop up again. Again, I think it'll pop closer to the finale, though, because I think they very well might tie into whatever happens for our rescue mission, attempted rescue mission for Crosshair. So, yeah. As for other characters who will show up again, it's going to be interesting in terms of Cad Bane and Fennec Shand as to whether they'll pop in again or not. I think they both will make an appearance again, but not for a good little bit. So I think both will appear again. That'll be interesting. I'm hoping we check in on Crosshair over on Camino at some point, maybe a couple of times. And yeah, I think we'll see a good bit more of Sid over here. Yeah, I think that's kind of the major pieces as I'm thinking about this. I don't know that there's anybody else we've seen that I really expect to pop back up for sure. It'll be fun to make some Season 2 predictions once we actually finish this season. That'll be fun. That will be fun. Hey, we're getting there. Just a few more minutes right there. Hey, the spiel for anybody who hasn't heard it, if in case you are new. The usual, which is go pull it up on your side, I'll pull it up on mine. We'll all get our copies of the 10th episode of Bad Batch up and ready. And then I'll count you in, give you a 3, 2, 1, and we'll start it up. I'll have a timer up over my head, so if things get missynced for some reason, you can go ahead and pop that back to the right time. And yeah. Oh, and I said something before, but I'm thinking about going ahead. I do marathons with the other shows that I've been doing. So, talking about WandaVision and, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, etc., before the actual finale episode, and just go ahead and do that whole thing. Kind of like how I did on the first episode here. I went ahead and marathon through the 4 episodes we had from Bad Batch from back in Clone Wars. But I'm thinking about doing that here for Bad Batch, which will be one big stream. We will start early in the day right there, relatively speaking. Or, I guess, middle of the night if you're in Europe, I suppose. Yeah. So I'm definitely thinking pretty heavily about doing that. But as I said, it'll be a long marathon. And I might even go ahead and touch the Clone Wars arc too. Just start at the Clone Wars arc and work all the way through Season 1. Oh, it'll be fun. Oh, and one long stream too. Okay, we are less than a minute out. They are pretty good at hitting right on the hour, so let's see if they would go ahead and pull off right on the hour again today. Hey, hello there to hello there to Pheromond. My brain just was about to say Furmond instead somehow. Let's see, it is the hour. And here we go. Episode 10 is Common Ground. Looks similar length to the last week's episode. And hey, one of the predictions I made about the episode is clearly correct already based on the thumbnail for the episode. Anyway. 27 minutes and 16 seconds today. So, like, I think, 8 seconds longer? Day-long stream for Bad Batch finale. Something like that. A good half day worth finale, at least. Wait till Season 2. Then we'll go ahead and put them back to back. Yeah, 24-hour stream. All right, so everybody get that Bad Batch episode up, and we will go ahead and get going. So If you're having any problem, go toss it over into the chat and let me know that you're having a problem pulling up the episode. We haven't had those kind of problems since back before they started releasing things early, back before Bad Batch even was up. So I don't expect them, but hey, if you are, let me know. Okay, so everybody getting up there. Tom was talking about. Yeah, I saw Kevin say something about that during the Loki stream the other day. It's like, ouch. Don't know much of anything else about that. I haven't actually even played Old Republic. Sounds interesting. It's actually canon material too, but beyond that, I have not actually ever played it. Hey, and hello there to Gyroscope. Okay, I've not seen anybody saying any problems, so I am going to go ahead and we'll get this party started. Let's jump into the episode 10, Common Ground. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, hopefully everything works out for Kevin here in the long run. Bad Batch. Ooh. Speaking of that last piece from the trailer that we hadn't seen yet, here we are. We're here today. You know, this is not going to be as fillery as I expected. It's beautiful world building in this already. Wow. That takes some guts to do what it sounds like he's about to do. Wow. Nice. Man, that takes some guts right there. Being that you know what's about to happen. There we go. The image specific. Yeah, Geek Girl. I was hoping to get to see more of this too in here. It's like, oh. Given that we know this show is willing to go dark on occasion too, we'll see exactly what happens in the long run here. So who does that message go to? Saw? Bail Organa? I granted we could set it straight to mercenaries instead, but I feel more like the others. Wrecker. In the thumbnail, Sid. So who's paying her for this? Unless the senator himself is, but I seems less likely to me. Oh, I love that too. The whole separatist republic thing still being here in their heads. What a good nickname for a hunter. Ah, says the leader of the Bad Batch, who talks about how bad they are at following orders. Sure. Hell, they brag about how bad they are at following orders sometimes. No resentment here you're gonna have if you're Omega, huh? Yeah, Sid's great. Hmm. Speaking of planets, I don't think we've ever seen in any visual show or movie. Show or I should just say show or movie. Point being. How intriguing this. So is the client specifically a separatist, or is it just the senator? If so, that will change who it is that we're about to meet in that sense. Any big separatists that we know that might pop up here? I mean, it could even be our general from the Kanan comics. That's possible. Less likely? Well, maybe. Some interesting questions here. Yeah, no, it's just a robot. Okay. So it's just the senator saving himself then. Would have been more interesting if there was a bigger network rather than just that, but that's still cool. I wonder what we're going to get here between Omega and Sid. Oh, no kidding, gay girl. Dave Filoni is having fun making sure to see planet after planet over here in the galaxy. And she is full of nicknames for Hunter. Oh, that senator's rich to be able to afford all this, right? Not sure what you're talking about, Tommy. You mean earlier chats? Yeah, I mean, he did do that once. Well, more than once. As I said, not something I think is great here, with everyone around, but yeah. No need for that. By the way, other pieces I love, like the flora that we have in here, i.e. the plants, the trees, which we do actually put some work into. Like, heck, when we had the big view of the city, what's this capital of Raxus? Ranthalon? Anyway, but the view of that from there, it's like very nice. But anyway, yeah, just another nice detail in here in the show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting, Gyroscope. You're saying almost getting Naboo vibes here. What, from the interior architecture here, for instance? So I can see some of that in the interior architecture, maybe? Yeah, no, it reminds me of a different planet. I'm not sure which one. I can't think of it here. But for the architecture, anyway. Makes me think a little more of Onderon in terms of interior architecture, I think. But I'd have to look at it to really do a comparison. Yeah. Tom, Kevin, show on. Said there's plenty to talk about here on the show. Jump in some of that, okay? I love that symbol. It feels almost a little like an atom, and also a bit more like, I don't know. There's a almost a tree-like aspect to it too. I don't know. It's interesting. Good timing, Bad Batch. Good timing. You know, it's going to be interesting if they have some big problem because Omega wasn't here, since they were down a person. That actually would be interesting. Wow. That's some troops. Nice. Man, Wrecker's a force. But yeah, if people want to talk on the chat here, and go ahead and talk about the actual episode we're watching, yeah, definitely please do. Or I was going to say, Tom, Kevin, you're kind of derailing things over there. And if your friends, in real life or online, as it sounds like you are, you clearly can talk about all that somewhere else. Yeah, it is a good action sequence. I so don't understand human behavior. I can almost expect a line like that after he says he didn't care about the vase. Nice. To just run from your planet. Meanwhile, let's go watch Omega playing some strategy games when we get back, huh? Oh, jeez. A lot of action. Yeah, it will be interesting to see the transition in tech. I agree, Gig Girl. Yeah, as the walkers or the Republic walkers here, but we will start to shift them over time. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it's one of the pieces we have that we're talking about a little in the background too. The eventual replacement of the clones with stormtroopers, which we've touched a little on the beginnings of it here. But it'll be interesting to see as we continue. And a certain clone rebellion on Kamino would certainly push it that much more heavily. Wrecker's not subtle there, is he? Yeah, no kidding, Gig Girl. The debt paid off. That could lead to some interesting possibilities of where we go next time, for instance. I mean, they don't technically need to do another mission at that point, right? And then we're done with this one. So, miss the filler guess. Even in fairness, the mission for the Senator doesn't have too much of a direct connection, but everything else definitely was tied in there. Heck, this whole divide between Omega Stain and not. I mean, the piece of helping the Separatists I expect to still come back and play a bit more later, too. And their debt being paid off, again, that's got to have significance here. And again, hey, it was a solid episode. Definitely was. Some good action in its parts. Some larger lore and world building. A little bit of challenging of some points of view in here, and definitely some character development at the same time. Mainly for Hunter and Omega, as usual. We don't know who our two main clones are, huh? Let's see, an 8 out of 10 from Matthew Finn, an 8.2 out of 10 from Evie. Yeah, it's in that neighborhood right there. I'd say somewhere between 7.5 or 8 to me, somewhere in that range. Definitely a good episode, good solid episode. So next time for a filler episode. This was 10. We only have 6 episodes left. So at some point we're going to start building toward that finale, because we really haven't done it yet. We haven't started laying those direct pieces that Dave Filoni tends to like to do, at least based on watching Rebels anyway. He tends to like laying the groundwork more and more heavily for where the finale is hitting as it's getting there. And, well, we're not that far out anymore, so definitely going to start coming soon. Let's see, a 10 from Tom. And very good from Sailor X. And Gyroscope says, really liked it. Yeah. Indeed. And yeah, as Geek Girl saying, more of a lore episode, and it did advance the plot. Agreed indeed. And I love the world building. Again, show us more planets. I'm for that. Give us more of an idea of what the Empire's doing and how things are going about. Like, again, here, it really was just a mercenary extraction mission. It's not like our clones went ahead and decided to save the day and try to free Raxus from the Empire, which would be absurd, but we're something more noble even in that sense. I mean, at least the Senator decided maybe he wanted to be a little noble. But really, at first, it was just saving his own skin. Which, clearly, he has a good bit of money on him. Sailor, yeah, you think episode 16 will be a cliffhanger? I think it'll be partly a cliffhanger. I think it will largely finish up the whole Crosshair piece. I think that'll finish up. But I think it might also have a piece that will maybe not be a full cliffhanger, but a good hook into season 2. So I think it'll be that. More of a hybrid between being a true end and being a cliffhanger. Something that could be the end if it had to be, but also you can clearly have a hook into season 2. I think that's what I expect. Oh, hey, and hello there to Solomon Glover. You say it was a heartwarming end, but we need more cliffhangers. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get one probably next episode either. I'll be surprised. Again, I think next episode will be something a little more filler then. But who knows? I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again. Fun thing about making theories and predictions, right? That is indeed. Makes it fun to make predictions, really, right? Let's see, character ranking for you so far, Evie, is Wrecker number 1, Omega number 2, Hunter number 3, and then Tech and Echo tie. Yeah, off the bat, I can easily agree with you on Tech and Echo being on the bottom. There isn't a lot they really get to do in these episodes, and we don't really spend much time on character development for them or anything else. We really need to give them a chance sometime, but we just haven't been doing it yet. Maybe season 2, because certainly season 1 does not seem to be their time. Wrecker has been built out so much further than where he was in that Bad Batch 4-episode arc in Clone Wars. So much more. And Hunter, of course, has, and dang if Omega has not been. So yeah, I'd agree close with your rankings. Although I think all three of those 3 are high up and relatively close for me, but I think I would put Omega, Hunter, Wrecker in that order. I love Wrecker, but at least at this moment, I think he's probably 3 in there. But again, they're really close. I love all 3 of them. And I love Echo as far as, other things, Clone Wars and whatnot. To be honest, he was a little more interesting in Clone Wars before becoming part of Bad Batch in some ways, I think. Oh, and hey, hello there to Jacob Katz, who says, love the watch parties. Oh, good. Well, I love doing them and having you all here with me, so definitely I do and appreciate having you all around. So you think, let's see, Sailor X, you say episode 11, The Bad Batch, is going to go to Dexoon. So we're going to head back over near Onderon. Well, that's interesting. I mean, definitely we could. I mean, that could be an easy way to bring Saw Gerrera back in, for instance. I could see that. I didn't watch the mid-season trailer, so if that's part of the mid-season trailer, that might make some sense too, I suppose. The Demon Moon, right? As such as it is. Yeah. I could... Sure. Possible. Possible. I mean, heck, it's... just taking a quick look at it. A lot of relevance over in old Legends right there. Pops up a whole bunch of times. Interesting. Oh, of course. Right. Good old Bane. Anywho. Need more Star Destroyers. Always need more Star Destroyers. We're a little early for a whole bunch of Star Destroyers with having just moved into the Empire. But speaking of things that will be interesting to watch change over time, depending on how long the show goes and how much time passes in it, that will be fun. Solomon, you say you heard from someone that Omega gets captured in episode 14 by the fish heads. That'll be interesting. Oh, let's see, I missed this one. Geek Girl, after last episode, you were wondering if Nala Se is going to be part of the Clone Rebellion. I mean, I would be hardly surprised, let's put it that way, right? She's clearly attached to Omega. I don't know that it's really about clones in general and how much she really has an opposition to the Empire, as much as it is an attachment to Omega, though. So that's what I'm really unsure of at the moment. Because, again, it could just be much more that it's an attachment to Omega, in which case she might not care as much unless Omega does. That could draw Nala Se in. And again, I really hope that it doesn't happen here in Season 1, and I don't feel like it will. I feel like it's a Season 2 thing, maybe even a Season 2 finale kind of thing for the Rebellion. And that would give us plenty of time to do that, and plenty of time for the Bad Batch, and especially Omega, to go ahead and care more about the Rebellion. And if anybody's going to care more about it, I feel like Omega of the bunch is the one that will connect to the Rebellion first. Hell, she already has a little connection through the Martez sisters more than the rest do anyway. And if that then happens, that then draws in other people that are next to her, like the Bad Batch, like Nala Se, and that could go ahead and, yeah, I said, yeah, definitely pull Nala Se in. Yeah, what you're saying right there, yep. I think the attachment to Omega will lead her to draw Nala in. Agreed. So, yeah, I'm going Season 2 finale is the Clone Rebellion over on Kamino. I'm going Season 2 finale. I think that. I don't think we draw it out to Season 3 finale, so I think it comes a little earlier. Seems like a good place to go for the show. Oh, Sailor X wants an old man wrecker episode of The Mandalorian. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Although, who knows, once he's that old, what he'd be like, but that would be fun. Solomon, season 2, everyone dies and pisses everyone off. I'm going more for season 3 or 4 finale for that, but yeah. Something like that. Oh, agreed, Pheromone. Agreed. I mean, the Clone Rebellion there on Camino should be a big multi-episode thing. Again, yeah, big multi-episode. And certainly Dave Filoni is capable of doing that. We haven't seen any big multi-episode things this season. Okay, that's actually untrue. Technically, the first episode was 70 minutes long, which would be the equivalent of a good 3 episodes plus anyway. So I guess kind of we did. And actually, that would be fine too if they just want to do it as a 2-hour episode, essentially a movie. Go do it that way too. No problem with that. Ooh, definitely true, Sailor X. Yeah, season 3 could be a time skip. Heck, we do Clone Rebellion for the season 2 finale. Time skip forward. Yeah, sure, I could see that. Again, I'm also wondering about Mandalore, when we might pop our heads over that way to go ahead and see some action that way. Hopefully see... Again, I think we have a good shot of seeing Bo-Katan's loss of power on Mandalore when the Empire goes ahead and fully takes over there. I think we've got a shot of that, but I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, when it really comes down to it, it's the stories of the characters we've got. So as far as things like Mandalore, wherever it fits best is what I prefer. How's that sound? Evie, you think the rebellion there for Camino will be the end finale of the entire show? Yeah, sure, it's possible. That's definitely possible as well. I like my idea better, but but it's definitely a logical place to go for the finale of the show as well, because it brings things full circle with them coming back home. And bringing things full circle is, well, certainly a popular way to go ahead and close out a show. So, yeah, sure, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Let's see. So yeah, another good episode here today. So we'll have episode 11 next week. As far as other things, Star Wars and live streams and all that, I don't have anything Rebels this weekend. I think that's next weekend. I'll be doing that, so we'll have a little more in that vein soon. Let's see. Geek Girl says, thinking the Bad Batch will be called in for extra muscle on Mandalore, and yes, that's my theory too. It makes sense if we're. They don't have to even go to the whole rebellion kind of side of things. It's just as mercenaries they can be called over. It makes easy sense to me. You to pull them in that way. It's a good excuse to be able to bring them to all kinds of different hotspots that way too. And yes, get to see what happened to Bo and the Darksaber. Yes, indeed. Gyroscope, am I liking this season more than season 1 of Rebels? Yes, 100%. No, really not even much of a comparison, to be honest here. Significantly more. I commented even on the first episode that it was by far the strongest start for any of the Star Wars animated shows. Out of the 2 that I've seen, I guess, other than this one, I should say. Haven't seen Resistance, but from what I've heard, I doubt that one would go ahead and be much of a comparison. But you never know. I'll see that sometime too. But yeah, no, it said it was strong there, and it has stayed strong throughout this season with, heck, some really strong episodes recently. I admit it had those couple repair the ship episodes kind of slowed down a little bit, and then we came right back up. And even in the first of those repair the ship episodes, episode 3, we had one of the darkest moments of the entire show so far, because that's where we went over to Onderon with Crosshair and just massacred people. So, yeah. They're on live action coming soon. Yes, indeed. Geek Girl, judging from what we saw in erection, let's see. Trying to catch that. Judging from what we saw in her reaction to being handed is by Din something happened with it. Right. Talking Mandalorian season 2 finale and the dark saber, etc., etc. Yeah, that's where we could get a bit more of the excuse. Well, not really excuse. A bit more of the story as to why Bo would now have a problem with just being given the dark saber. Again, if I'm the Empire and I'm trying to go ahead and sow dissent within the Mandalorians, it makes sense to go ahead and use that as part of what you use against Bo-Katan in the first place. So to sow dissent there, and that dissent being then long sitting, it makes a lot of sense. Oh, you're right. No, but she gets it then. Never mind. You're right. You're right. She gets it back then, and she's perfectly fine with accepting it. Never mind. It doesn't work. Never mind. Never mind. It doesn't work there. Screwed. I don't know. You're right. Because that's Rebels. I think we like to pretend that doesn't exist in Rebels, right? Pretend that didn't happen right there. Yeah. Got me too. I got going on that, but yeah, no, that wouldn't work that way. It would be nice to go ahead and do it. But yeah, to see that downfall, we have to watch a completely different period of time right there. Not Bad Batch anyway. Easily could be some flashbacks in Mandalorian if it felt like doing it, though. Let's see. We could always retcon that piece of Rebels, with the little Mandalorian arc in season 4. How about we just retcon it, pretend it didn't happen that way? Oh. Anyway. The ever-popular question of who will play Thrawn in live action. Man, if this has not been one of the questions indeed. I still say, as far as the different possibilities are concerned, there are plenty of people. I mean, I remember when all this stuff was going out on having Benedict Cumberbatch play Thrawn, who was pretty much said, no, I don't want to be in makeup for hours and hours. Not a point in my life that I want to do that. Yeah, you don't say, right? But really, Lars Mikkelsen does the voice for Thrawn. He certainly visually can look Thrawn in what he does. So I think Lars Mikkelsen is a good pick on who to go ahead and play Thrawn for the live action. So yeah, I'm good with that direction. Or we can toss in the other possibility. John Cena. There we go. Oh, Tom Hiddleston. Yeah. And Geek Girl's out, so have a good night there, Geek Girl. Sailor X says retcons are on the table for Earthly Post Season 2 of The Mandalorian. We'll see. I don't get the feeling that Filoni will go ahead and do that, but who knows? Heck if I know. But generally speaking, they may have talked about how there's not a hierarchy in canon and whatnot, and everything's equally canon, but let's be honest, we've already seen that's not true. But still, that would be a divide that I don't think they're willing to make as Lucasfilm at this point in time, shall we say. That would also be my guess. Could that change in the future? Certainly. Is that what I think the case is right now? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So yeah. On to next week's episode, where, guess what? They no longer have a debt to Sid, and we'll see what they choose to do. And that'll be interesting. Will they go ahead and try to take off on their own again for a little while? Will they try to build up some more money first? Oh, and Veramon, yeah, I don't see them retconning Rebels. Yeah, no, I don't see them retconning the Rebels Mandalorian arc anytime soon, if ever. I mean, Filoni was in charge when it happened in the first place, so... well, that means he's willing to retcon his own work in that sense, because he would see it as his own work, so... There's that. Maybe in later seasons, Bad Batch will deal with Maul's crime organization. Yes. I am very curious if we'll pop Crimson Dawn in. Again... It's Filoni. It's Maul. If Maul doesn't pop in some way at some point, I'll be a little surprised. Not this season, though. I'd be very surprised to see Maul pop into season 1. And to be honest, at this point, at how late we are in season 1, I don't know that Boba Fett's popping up in this season. That could be part of what you use as a hook into season 2, though. Have him pop up in the last little bit of the final episode. Maybe even use him as a button in the final episode. I could see something like that happen. But we've gotten so late that I'm not sure he's popping up anymore in season 1. Well, anyway, with all of that, I think I will probably get taken off Dwayne Johnson as throne. Oh... No, well, who Dwayne Johnson should play is Wrecker. Dwayne Johnson could play Wrecker well right there. That would be fun. But how can you more miscast Thrawn than Dwayne Johnson? Whoa. Well, anyway, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Always a ton of fun. Love having y'all in the chat in here. And hey, with that, I think it's time for me to go ahead and take on off. I will see you all next week or sooner, maybe over on a Loki live stream or one of the other videos here or there. Certainly plenty of those to go ahead and check out. And until then, let me say, have a magical day. And may the Force be with you. Always.